Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello.
Welcome back to another exciting episode
of Live,
Let, Thrive.
What's up, Myka, man?
I'm good. How you doing, Stevie Stacks?
I'm doing, baby. I'm still alive, still kicking, still out there grinding, and, trying to take over the world like you.
Nah, I ain't trying to take over the world. I'm getting rid of it.
We're going to definitely dive into that.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is episode 268 of your favorite Airbnb, VRBO, short-term, midterm, long-term rental podcast in the world, coming at you from Fort Worth and Arlington, Texas.
Let's go.
And we have a special guest, and that is us. It is an S&M episode. Stevie Stacks and Money Myka.
Yes,
Money Myka. We're going to do this. Going to have a great episode, just you and I. Fans love these episodes for some reason. They like looking at us. They think we're pretty cool. So we're going to have some fun, man. Get into that comment you just made. You're hopping out of the arbitrage game. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm hopping out of the arbitrage game. I am just doing management and owning, man, because arbitrage is just too volatile for me. But it's a lot of stuff going on right now, and just the short term. No, I'm not even gonna say short term. This episode really we're gonna talk about a lot of Airbnb stuff because Airbnb is like it's going through a lot right now. And as you guys may know, Dallas has already put limitations on residential neighborhoods. Basically, in residential neighborhoods, you can't do it. I was really holding my units to see like how this would affect because all mine are in commercial, but they are eventually going to cap commercial. So if you do keep commercial, you are going to I think you're going to win in the long term, but I'm kind of backing out of it. Plus they're good units that I have. Ever since I moved over to Well and Good and having them clean it, it's been really good units, but I just was like, man, I'm kind of sick of the arbitrage thing. It's just too many. It's no longer my business model. You know what I mean? A lot of houses that I own and then managing other people's houses. If they arbitrage, they arbitrage, but I just like managing and owning. Those seems to be my bread and butter. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. It's it reminds me. I heard a podcast today, Tim Ferriss show I listened to. They had these guys on here. I forgot the name of the authors, but they dealt with like the stock market, hedge funds, stuff like that, big money. And I guess is the guy that wrote Fooled by Randomness and Black Swan. He's the guy that wrote those books, if you ever heard about him. And I guess like he's done hedge funds before, and the way he builds them is hedging risk. He really believes in hedging risk, whereas a lot of people go balls to the walls in those hedge funds, throw risk to the air and just it's great. You make a shitload of money when things are going good, but as soon as something happens, let's just say a virus spreads across the world, a war starts or something like that, you lose everything because you weren't hedging against risk like that. So when you said that, you're getting out of the arbitrage game, it reminded me of that because it's a lot of risk involved because, you got all these leases, right? You got your name on it, you're paying rents, What happens if something happens? You still got to pay that rent. Whereas if you're just managing for someone else, hey, shit happens. Sorry, bruv. You don't have to pay the rent. You don't have to pay their mortgage. And just saying what it is, right? It's a great game to get into, and there's pros and cons to both. And so I'll say, you might deal with some tricky clients out there. That if you say, I just manage and it's all good. There's some clients that are pretty demanding, they're pretty up in your stuff all day long, every day. It happens, dude. And so we have a mix, Artist Rentals, we have a mix of arbitrage and manage. Like I said, there's pros and cons to both. Y'all taught me a long time ago to put in the lease agreements with the apartments that if something happens, or we can't do short-term rentals anymore, we can leave in 30 days or whatever you agree to, 30 or 60 days. And that helps, you're hedging risk and you can get out of these leases. So that indeed helps. It's still, you got to deal with all that furniture, it's always something. So at least put your precautions in place and the older I get, the more I believe in insurance. You know, insurance is boring stuff, but it'll keep you afloat, bro.
It will, man. It will, and I like how you said hedging risk, because that's what I'm trying to do. Like right now, I really want to I'm trying to be 100% like just on the ownership side. So then I have that equity backing me. And then and plus one thing you did bring up, you were talking about, there are headaches in managing, right? So what I did was I took the properties that I do best with on the ownership side. That's what I'll manage. So I'll only manage houses that 3-bed, 2-bath, where I can get insurance clients on them. And that's really why I'm trying to move away from apartment complexes, because I don't have that leverage. Like insurance clients, it's all day on houses. Boom, 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 boom. Apartments, they're like, you got a house? And so I'm like, damn, I just rather just have the house. Because I've been getting this property down in Mansfield. I showed you the numbers on it. It's been just crazy booked, and a lot of them are, the last one who booked was CRS, and they booked directly through Airbnb. I didn't want that, but it happens. So it's just a matter of scaling down to what your niche is. And that's starting to be my niche is midterms. And I'm starting to notice these apartments just don't do it. So I'm just kind of backing away from that. And other than that, man, Airbnb, man, it's a lot of stuff going on right now. The New York City shut it down. That's what it looks like is happening. Airbnb is now charging up to $1,000 if you cancel a reservation. Airbnb is now reversing resolution claims. That was an interesting one. I don't know. I guess we can dive into each one of those. Yeah, we can dive into each one of those.
We'll dive into that for sure. The shutting down New York City. We got a lot of friends over there. So have you heard how they're taking it?
No, I have not.
We had on Clubhouse mostly. That's where we used to. I haven't been on Clubhouse in a while. But we got some buddies and club people that we know on Clubhouse that have places in New York.
So what are they doing? What's their pivot process?
I think one of our friends is good because he lives in the unit, and if you live in the house or whatever it is, you could still rent out of your house. But it's some weird laws, man. It says, but you gotta be there. You can own it, you have to live in it, but you have to be there while the guest is there, which is that's a weird deal, man.
I think they're kind of taking that Colorado approach. I don't know if Denver's laws have changed. Remember, they were real big on that. Like, hey, you can do it as long as you live there and you have to be there. But
you have to be there. What the hell? So if they go knocking at the door,
And I'm wondering that, like, do you have to physically be there while you're renting it out? That's what I'm like.
That's what it looked like.
I think you could easily get around that because I don't know how they're going to prove that. But I mean, as far as living off site, that might be a little bit problem. But I mean, if you're house hacking, I mean, if you're not physically there, I don't know how they're going to fine you or anything. But yeah, I don't know.
Because everybody knows New York City's biggest problems is Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
Not the murders, not the muggings, not all that stuff. It's Airbnbs. So
yeah, it's crazy, man. But
send the popo in for that.
And yeah, man, outside of that, it sounds like it kind of came off like today when I started reading all this stuff on Airbnb. It seems like they're kind of struggling right now. I don't know if they are. I haven't looked at their stock numbers, but it seems like they're trying to keep some money in their pocket. You know what I mean? And I remember a long time ago, me and you discussed, I remember you were talking about, I forgot, we had someone come on the show and they were talking about how they always rack up all this money from Airbnb by putting in these big, huge claims. Me, I did take that advice and I started getting payouts as well, like the big, huge claims, by basically documenting everything. Document everything. If they smoke, document it. If they break something, document it. But it seems like now our friend, shout out to Heba, a friend of the show, they actually reversed one of her payouts. It was like a $600 resolution claim and they reversed it. I haven't had that happen to me. I did remember I told you I had like $6,000 in claims. They did pay me $1,000. I don't know. Has that happened to you? It hasn't happened to me yet. Has it happened to you?
Knock on wood. Not yet. Now, how do they reverse it? I mean, the money hasn't hit your account yet, right? They can't just, or can they reverse it like a month later after the money's already gone to you?
That I don't know. From the screenshot that I seen, it seems like she won the claim. They said, hey, we're sending it. Then they reversed it and they told her to fill out. Let me see what it was exactly called. It was called what was it called?
The hurt feelings report.
Host damage protection payment request form. That's what they told her to fill out. Basically signing off that everything is true. I guess she told us that they reversed it because they said it wasn't enough evidence and the invoice didn't look right or something. So I'm not sure. And I know the claims thing. Now I have had 2 claims just closed, that they just closed them like, hey, and I don't know if I have to check my email, but I always keep up to date on my email. Like if claims are coming through that we aren't getting paid out for. So, I have had 2 claims just closed, so I do got to follow up on those. So it does seem like they're trying to keep a little bit of extra money in their pocket. So I don't know what's going on with that. But I remember a while ago you said that you're like, how does Airbnb, because they're essentially using insurance. How much are these insurance? How much insurance can they keep using? This insurance company's going to be okay paying out those claims. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, because they're $1 billion company, but still, that takes a toll. Because I mean, I filed 2 claims on a house in 1 year and they dropped my ass. So I had to get proper drop me. So I had to go to another company. I had to go to CBiz. So, I mean, it's one of those things that you got to have to look at. And in the long run, does that hurt Airbnb being able to provide that insurance protection?
Man,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel that the recession is here and it's hurting everybody, even Airbnb. So, I mean, if they stop doing payouts, they'd be like, what are we going to do about it? We're going to leave the platform. They kind of like have a lot of power over us. You know what I'm saying? And, which leads us back to direct bookings. Now, have you been going hard on direct bookings or still getting mostly Airbnb?
I always go hard on direct. Even the one I had and Airbnb has kind of created like a safety net, right, for guests. Because I sent a email out to all of my insurance clients, sent it out, and the guests booked directly through Airbnb. They wouldn't found the listing. So I was like, damn. So yeah, I do go hard on direct, but that's why I go hard on midterms, right? I've been going really hard on insurance midterms. And then if I have gaps, lease it out through the gap just on Airbnb or whatever. That's how I've been running it. But yeah, I'm real big on direct, midterms, all that.
Now, are you taking money through your direct booking website?
Yeah, if it comes in that way. But other than that, if it's like something that is long term, I just do it through Avail, so I can run a background check and I can get a security deposit.
Because the big thing, that people fear are the chargebacks, right? If you're accepting payment through your direct booking website.
Mm-hmm.
How do you safeguard against chargebacks?
Just keep a document of everything. 1, you can get chargeback protection through Stripe. 2, you can also make sure you got cameras. So if a person say they didn't check in or something, you have it on camera. I've went through disputes as well, and I've always won them.
Okay, because I've heard from people that lose these disputes, even though it's clear as day.
I've heard people use
there.
It. I haven't had it, knock on wood, had it happen to me yet. But yeah, I have heard people losing those disputes. But I mean, with me doing mainly midterms, I do more direct, business to business, direct. That's why I tell people, to me, midterm is business to business. So I mean, personally, get away from if you can get away from business to consumer, the better off your business will be. Because then you can still go through a recession. So insurance is still going to need housing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The farther you get away from B2C, the further you get to B2B, you'll have a more sustainable business.
Because I almost see it as, we do a lot of the insurance claims as well. And we sign leases with the clients that are needing a place to stay. And the company sends us the check directly, or, however they do it. And it's great, and they pay us, and we provide a great place for their clients, 3 months, 4 months, sometimes 6 months. And but what I was thinking, since I'm changing, my company, because like I told the story earlier in a few podcasts, Fed was on doing his own thing now, so I'm doing R just 100%. So I'm even changing, and I want to dive into calendars today and dynamic pricing too. I'm changing it to where, farther away, it's a lot, it's a lot longer stay. You have to stay, right? The farther away in the future, you have to stay 6, 7, 8 days, whatever. So I can keep my calendars clean and land the big bookings all the time, right? And so I'm almost thinking, why would I even mess with accepting a 2-nighter or 1-nighter on a direct booking platform? Yes, I might get a chargeback, and I might win it, but how much time and effort and documenting and sending all that crap just to win a few $100, where I can just, okay, all those little fucking bookings, I just let Airbnb handle those, or VRBO, and I'll have some protection. I might lose a few bucks off of it, but I'm trying to land the big fish anyways. I don't care about the small stuff happening, a week or two out. I want to land the big bookings in 2 or 3 weeks out, or a month out, so I can just, put my calendar solid lines everywhere, long insurance claims, you know what I'm saying? So I think to me, it's almost not worth the hassle to be doing the Stripe thing and your direct booking website just to save a few bucks, whereas it's going to cause a lot of hassle and headache trying to prove that someone.
But how does that happen, though?
Did stay.
You have to look at the currents of it.
Chargebacks?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it happened while Feta was still here. We got like 4 chargebacks in 1 week,
Damn.
And so he was just like, he turned it off, and I was like, well, I hadn't really felt motivated to turn it back on, because it was just these, and the thing about Stripe, they hold a chunk of your money while they're fighting this shit.
Yeah, they do.
So that ain't good
25%.
either, man. No money, no business. You know what I'm saying? No money, no business. So I think it's almost just, I hate to say it, I love my boy Boostly, I love our website and stuff, and it's great to have a great website, but it seems like it's not worth the hassle, unless you pay for that, what you call that protection, the chargeback protection. And what is that? Is that guarantee that any chargeback you're going to win, or you still have to fight it anyways?
Yeah, but they do take 2% out of every reservation, which ain't bad. I mean, Airbnb, they take 3%, and they can take your shit too. And for real, like, they can take it too. But that's why I'm like, yeah. And it also depends on, and that's another thing we have to discuss, is it depends on how you land your big fish. Are you trying to land them through the platform, or are you trying to land them business to business? You know what I mean? It depends on how you're trying to land them. See, I try to land mine outside of the platform, because you also have to look at, because also if you want farther out for them to book longer, farther out, I'm not really looking for them to book longer. I used to do that, but I realized it was limiting my calendar. If they book far out, I'd rather them be paying a huge premium, right? So then, even if it's far out, my calendar isn't that desirable, because I also have to look at it like this. If you're booking my place far out, let's say someone wants to book next month for 6 months, I'm no longer available. See what I'm saying? So it's all about how you want to weigh it down. Because most insurance clients, the ones I've been getting lately, they want to move in next week. So I'm like, damn. Yeah. So you can't really, if I have somebody booking next month, I'm already booked next month, and I'm already in that situation right now. Someone booked in October, which they paid a huge premium for it. I'll take it. But damn, I'd rather have somebody in there for the next 3 months, So it's all about your business model and how you want to set it up. That's the real important part. Because if I want those longer, because how often are you getting someone to book a long-term stay farther out? And what kind of client is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it seems like if someone's booking far out for a month, I don't know what type of client that is. I don't really know that clientele.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
go ahead. I set it up. I'm going in there with the listing saying, hey, this hosted by Argist Rentals, all one word, Argist capital rentals, period.
Mm-hmm.
The best in corporate housing, little whatever, a little minor. And people find us, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I'm not doing nothing illegal. I'm just saying hosted by Argist Rentals, and people are finding us. So there's that aspect. It's an exposure that, there's a billion eyeballs on Airbnb. So a VRBO, some of them. But we're easy to find. We have a unique name. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm happy about that. We created a unique name for our business. If anybody's out there, we're going to start a business, create something unique. because like there's so many cozy, comfy Zen stays out there. You know what I'm saying? They'll never find you. You're an ocean of a billion of those companies named something similar to that. But if you have a unique name, you'd be easy to find. You know, Smart B&B. No, I'm sorry, you're not Smart B. Share B&B. That's a pretty easy name to find out there if they want to find you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we do that. Of course, we're on Furnish Finder. We're on there. That's picking up lately. We could talk about that too. Furnish Finder's starting to hop. Took a while, but Zillow. I guess Zillow is where we get most of our leads. But we've created such a big database of these corporate rental places. Every single one that's called us or ever reached out to us, we collect their information. We have it in our database, and we have our MailChimp mailer. I think Manu sends out every single day, so they know us. And so they're reaching out. They're reaching out to us and saying, "Hey, you got something over here for our guy," and whatever particular city, because they, even if we don't have something, we'll find something for them. We'll try to find something for them, you know. So that's where I'm getting my exposure from. But I do utilize the OTAs for part of the exposure.
Mm-hmm. I like that idea. I'm making a calendar to-do list to set some up to be sent daily. I'm just gonna test that out.
Yeah.
See how that works. Like, how's that working for y'all? Like, what are y'all? Do you know like y'all stats on that? Like,
I think how many openings? I think around 33%.
That's good.
People we send it to opens the things.
That's good. So, who are you sending them to?
Directly to the people who reached out from us to us from those companies. We say
you sending them to like the nurse, the insurance, who like
the corporate housing providers, the
corporate
CRCs,
okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, so we send them out direct to those people. So yeah, like I said, we do still utilize Airbnb for the exposure. Furnish Finder, I'll tell you something, man. I'll tell you something funny. You might be able to use this. I've never rented room by room, right? I've never done that, but we have this 2-bedroom over there in Dallas, and well, we kind of turned it into it used to be a 2-bedroom. We turned it back into it, fed it back. He used to live in that one, and so it's a really cool 2-bedroom, 1-bath, whatever. And we were like, okay, let's try room by room in this one, see what happens. Close to the hospital, a lot of travel nurses right there. And so we did. I changed the listing of that unit because I used to have the whole thing listed on Furnish Finder as a 1-bedroom, big 1-bedroom. Now it's a 2-bedroom, and so and I had it on there for like $3,500 a month or whatever. So I said, you know what? A lot of these travel nurses, they only want to pay, upwards to $1,500, $1,600, right? For either a place of a studio or a room, you know what I'm saying? So I said, let's put it on there, 1-bedroom for, rent out by the bedroom for like $1,550 a month or something like that, right? Just to catch some eyeballs and see what they say. A lot of people had reached out to us about that, but they're thinking they're getting the whole thing for $1,550 a month, right? Which is ludicrous because we'd lose money doing that. But they're not reading, because that's the thing. People don't read, right?
Yeah.
Clients don't read. So they're reaching out and they're seeing this like 2-bedroom, 1-bath place, really nice place over there in Oak Lawn, Dallas. And they're like, oh wow, I'd like to get it for 3 months. Can I blah blah blah? And I'm like, this is you're getting a room, right? So you may have a roommate, as it says on the listing. Oh yeah, I don't want a roommate, I want my own place and blah 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 blah. And we're like, okay, well, we do have some other places that you have your own place, and we'll send you some links. Send them some links of how much you can pay. They tell us how much we can pay. And we've been landing people that way. So I didn't mean to make no bait and switch thing. I swear to God, it's on the site. It says this is 1-bedroom. You're renting a bedroom. And it says you can rent the whole thing for $3,000 whatever. But it's actually turned into these people are reaching out to us, trying to get that place for $1,550, the whole thing. But we're talking to them, and then we're sending them other 1-bedroom listings that they'll have all to themselves. So it's kind of like a bait and switch, but we didn't mean it to be that way.
Yeah. Now, how many have you successfully had 2 people rent one of the 2 bedrooms?
like each bedroom at a time?
Yeah.
No, not yet. We still have it's full. I mean, it has guests in there now from Airbnb, oddly enough. But the people that have called on it, they're thinking they're gonna get the whole thing. They're not trying to rent it by the bedroom.
Oh, so you haven't even had any conversations about it yet?
I just tell them, this is a you're renting one bedroom out of this 2-bedroom place, and you might have a roommate, and they're like, no. So a lot of these nurses, they want to pay dirt cheap,
correct?
They get their own whole entire place to themselves.
Dang it! I was interested in that because I was like, because I'm selling these 5 units. I was like, maybe I can sell it like that. Like, hey, because in this 2-bedroom, 2-bath, one bathroom is inside of the other person's bedroom, and the other one is outside, but it's on the other person's side. It's basically a perfect roommate situation. So I was thinking maybe I could do that. Mm-hmm. Let them know, hey, it'd be a great room by room because it is by the hospital. And that's why I was like, well, hell, if you're getting hits, people are like, hey, I'll rent it for $1,500. Somebody else rents it for $15. That's a great way to sell it that way. I used to do it room by room, but it was years ago. People loved that back then. They would pay. I used to have someone pay $1,100. They paid $900 just because it was a king bed in there. So yeah, man, it's multiple ways to look at it.
That we do in that same complex actually over there in Oak Lawn. We do manage a room out of a 2-bedroom condo, and it's gonna turn into I know it's a funny situation. So for this guy, we manage he has a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in that same condo complex, right? And one of the bedrooms, like he used to live there, he had a roommate, and he moved out. He owns the place, and the roommate decided to stay behind to rent just that other 1-bedroom, And so he said, "I'm gonna try to put this. It's a good area, Oak Lawn and all that stuff, and I want to just try to rent this bedroom out of this condo on Airbnb, and it's been doing." I mean, it stays booked, but he's charging around $50 a night. You know what I'm saying? He's charging really cheap, $40 or $50 a night.
How many rooms? Just 2?
It's just 2 bedrooms. 1 bedroom's taken long term by his ex roommate. Still lives there. His ex roommate's gonna move out, so he's gonna turn the whole thing into Airbnb. But for these past 4, 5, 6 months, however long we managed it stays booked because it's cheap. And then plus we have been getting a lot of travel nurses and what are they called? What is that called when you're a young dude? Internships. We get a lot of internships because they don't got a lot of money either. They get a small stipend, right? So
does it cash flow?
Oh yeah, he makes around $1,200 to $1,500 a month in that one for that 1 bedroom, which is pretty good. Because the other one he rents out full time. Yeah. The
other one's gone. It's rented out long term. So long
term.
And the other guy doesn't trip on like transient in there. He doesn't care.
He's cool. The only time he was he didn't like it is we actually a Karen got through, right? A Karen, and she brought her little freaking Toto dog, little that was barking and yapping all day. And that's the last time we say if we do roommate situations, there's no way we're letting a dog in because
pets. Okay.
First of all, it could annoy the hell out of the other person, but it could bite the motherfucker. So that wouldn't be good either.
That ain't on you if they bite somebody.
They can sue whoever they want to sue. We still got to fight it. We still got to get a lawyer to fight it. We might win, but whatever.
I wouldn't do pets anyway, just because of the first reason though. Yeah, if it's yapping and keeping up somebody else, you're right. That's a whole nother headache. Huh. I'm interested in it because the by room thing, I'm starting to notice it works in like Dallas is expensive, but we ain't expensive as like Seattle's, New York's, like coastal cities. I'm starting to notice they're real big on the room by room. And that's why I was really interested to see because I do have the 5 units that I'm selling in Dallas. By the way, I am selling 5 units, everyone, but Steve and my 2 other people, they have first dibs. So I'll let you know if it doesn't go through. But no. So
I gotta talk some terms, man. We gotta talk some terms.
We definitely got to. But what I was saying was, if they're willing to do it, I have the perfect place because they're right there by the Dallas Medical Center. So I was like, damn, I could really rent these out by the room, but I haven't even tried it yet. I don't even know if that's still a thing in Dallas. I would. Matter of fact, if there's anybody in the DFW who rents by the room, definitely hit us up because I actually want to get you on the cast to talk about that. Because I noticed, remember That's what happened in Arlington. A lot of people were pissed off because a huge chunk of Arlington was house hackers. You know, they were the people who were living there, renting out other 2 bedrooms, and they got all shut down. They all got shut down. So I am interested in that business model.
Yeah, the mother-in-law suites and all that stuff got shut down. Everything got shut down in Arlington.
Yeah. See, I don't like that. See, that's when it's like, come on, man. These people are trying to just make a living. You know what I mean? Just trying to pay their bills. I didn't like that.
Except for that 1 square mile of crack city right there. You could do Airbnb there if you want.
Basically. And they're really slow. No, they're not slow. They're gentrifying the hell out of that up there. They are moving on that.
There's still some ghetto.
Well, yeah, it is. But you can tell that they did it with a purpose. They were like, let's try to get this place gentrified. Because it's like 6 brand new houses. No, a cul-de-sac of brand new houses. And then like that whole strip right by the stadium of brand new houses, like brand new brick houses. I was like, yeah, property taxes are about to go up. The people currently living here probably ain't going to be able to afford it. They know how that goes. But yeah, it's very interesting. So I'm looking at different business models, and that's why I love like this whole short-term rental space, because we've changed multiple times. We went direct booking on the website to midterm rentals. We've rent from room to room. We've done it all, you know what I mean? But it's always you in short-term rentals. What I have found is you got to find the win for that season, right? What's the win for the season right now? You know, and mine's been insurance clients, and then it's all about picking up units intelligently, dropping units that you know that you don't want. I know Rachel Gainsborough came on the show one time, and she said, just stick to your business model, and you'll never fail. And then, you know, sometimes your business model changes. You know, stick to your niche. My niche has been houses, and I was like, I just got to focus on that, and that's been like a hit for me every time. Yeah.
I heard a cool thing. That reminds me of that because there's a Bruce Lee quote, and I'll probably butcher it, right? And you probably heard it before. It goes, he doesn't fear the man who knows 10,000 kicks. He fears a man that knows 1 kick but practices it 10,000 times.
Yeah, the man that's practiced the same kick 10,000 times. Yeah, that's the most dangerous man. He's lethal. He's lethal.
He's got that kick down, yo.
Yeah, you know, and that's where I got to get back to. You know what I mean? I know we sometimes hop into that. You talked about it real big. It was like the shiny object syndrome, right? You see that shiny object, he's like, let's hop on it. You're like, I'm gonna have to really. That's why I'm really hunkered down on your business model. What is your business model? And hunkered down on that. You know what I mean? Because man, getting rid of units, I'm like, it's a relief when you get rid of like units that don't fit your business model. Like the reason why I don't like these 5 units because I don't like Airbnb, right? And I can't just get them into insurance clients, you know. And then landing, they don't pay your ass. They finally did, but you know, I was using them for a while. They did a good job. Like now, well, good thing about landing is they will get somebody in there, but I'm like, man, my houses, I send an email out, boom, I'm getting next day. Hey, you got this place available? You got this place available? I'm like, damn, you know, and it's like consistent. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to sit here and depend on the Airbnb thing. I don't like changing calendars. I don't really like doing any of that. And the only places I'm doing that at, where? The damn apartments. And speaking of apartments, so, you know, 2 weeks ago, you guys didn't come, man. I invited y'all, man. It was Malachi's birthday.
Yeah.
So guess what? So we rented a Airbnb. We were gonna go through Swimply, but Swimply's expensive as hell. I didn't realize how expensive it is, and I'm like, damn. But basically, I realized Swimply is basically for pool parties. That's basically what it is, right? So basically, after 6 people, Swimply gets expensive. People start charging $20 extra an hour, right? You went from $40 an hour to $60 an hour. Add a few more people, and it went to $100 an hour, right? So we're like, let's just book an Airbnb for a night and just see what it does. We booked this Airbnb. We got it for like $90, if that, no, like $80 or something. Booked it for the night. We didn't even stay there. We just used the pool. So I get there. This dude had the most intelligent way to hand off keys I had ever seen. This dude had like, so basically you rent the Airbnb, you send him your license, you send him your license plate and your license. And I was able to book it for one night on a Saturday. I'm like, damn, he must allow parties and just don't give a damn. But he collects all your information. And then to get the key, he says, hey, to get inside the gate, you know, you put in the code, get inside the gate opens. He goes, but to get the key, you'll need to go to my garage. and he leaves his garage up. And he goes, yeah, just go to G whatever garage and the keys in there. There'll be a lockbox in there. So I'm like, damn. So it took a little bit of a minute to find the garage, but we found it, right? And he goes, it's pretty easy to find. It's open. So I go into the garage. I go to the left in the garage. He's got like 20 lockboxes. Lockbox 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got like 20 places in there. So I'm like, okay.
Apartment complex.
Apartment complex, right? So I'm like, okay, he ain't doing this illegally, right? And he's right off President George, off PGBT in those new apartments over there. He's right there, right?
That's Mansfield?
No, Grand Prairie.
Oh, Grand Prairie. Okay.
Like brand new. So like if you go across the freeway, he's by all the main event stuff, the chicken and pickle, the epic water, all that, right? You can get to there in like 5 minutes. So I'm like, oh, he killing it, right? He's got 20 units up in here and he's got all these lock boxes. So what you do is you go in there, you open the lock box, but everything is, you got to get through it with a key code, right? Key card. So you get the key card out and now you have access to the whole place. You can go to, and to get inside, you use that to go inside of the apartment, to go inside of the pool. But I was looking at this and I'm like, damn, this is smart. If I wanted apartments, I would do it this way. He rented one garage. So you got one garage for like 20 units and it has all your keys in there. And then he charges you $250 if you don't put the key back. I was like, damn, that's pretty good. It was really clean, nice place. We didn't even spend the night over there. We just used it to, we just used it for the party. But yeah, it was pretty nice stuff over there, man. I was like, dang, dude, he did pretty good with this one.
And nobody confronted y'all about swimming in the pool or nothing like that?
No, we were kind of worried about that. The pool, I think he had multiple people staying there because the pool was packed.
Oh, wow.
Like jam-packed. And we stopped swimming at like 10. And by the time we were like the last group out there, but it was jam-packed. But it was still fun. We had fun, man. But yeah, man, if you guys can rent like an Airbnb for a pool party instead of paying the Swimply price. Now, there's one good thing Airbnb is good for, some swim parties, because and plus it was a little kids party. We told them, hey, we didn't tell them we were having a swim party. We told them it was our son's birthday. And plus, nobody really needed to go inside because it was this big ass, nice clubhouse. And they had this second story clubhouse where you could look over the pool. It was pretty cool. But yeah, man, that was a really smart way if you want to get into the apartment place and if they don't let you change the locks. Yeah, he had a lockbox, like 10 lockboxes inside of a garage. It was pretty dope.
The one right by the IKEA over there?
There's a little bit further up. You're right. Yeah, you're right there. Not those. Those are the Sutherland. I was going to get some at the Sutherland back. This was like a year or two ago, right when the Sutherland opened. These are still a little bit more up. So you would have to go south to get back to like main event and all that over there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it was really dope.
See, you mentioned something. You said he's killing it, but if you're only getting $80 on a Saturday, that's not, to me, that's not.
Well, he allows one night stays.
Yeah, I know, but that's still $80 on a Saturday. That's, to me, I mean, a Saturday should be.
Remember, I think he does it kind of like Sean does it. So what they do is they'll have a bunch of places in there, and they'll allow one night stays. They basically go for full calendars. I don't know if you've seen that business model, but that's kind of how Sean runs his. He'll let you stay one night, 2 nights here, 1 night here. It's just like, I don't like that business model. That's why I don't like apartments. But like, I'm saying he's killing it from the point of he has a lot of units there. I don't know his numbers, but from how his calendar's set up, I was like, okay, I see what he's doing. He's doing have you ever been in one of Sean's groups, like in his Facebook group? And you'll notice people post, hey man, look how full my calendar is. And I'm looking like, I don't want that business model. One is too many turnovers, too many headaches. It's just, but that business model where you're training your own cleaning staff and all that, it works, but it's just not what I would do. But some people do it and love it. I don't like that. No, and that goes back to finding your niche, isn't it?
Too much. Yeah. Too much hassle, too much turnovers, too many things that could go wrong, too many. Then what happens if something gets broken? Then because
you got to think about this too. You got 20 units in there. What if 20 keys go missing?
No, dude, we go through that in Scottsdale. There's the same situation where the key cards. Yeah, you could charge a fee. You could charge them what's it called? A fine. Fine them $250 or whatever. You still, it happens on a Friday. Those fuckers ain't gonna get into place. First of all, if the person before him didn't put it back, there goes your weekend booking. There goes your $500, $600, $700 booking, right? It's gone because those people can't get in. They can't do nothing. All right, you're screwed. Yeah, you could petition for another key and charge the previous person, $250, whatever. You're still going to lose money. Plus, you have to wait till the complex grants you another key. It could be another 3 or 4 or 5 days. So it's dealing with any kind of keys. You can charge $1 million if they lose it. Fuck it. You ain't gonna get
That's why I like houses.
Yeah.
If the key to pad don't work, guess what? I can open a garage for you. That's why, that you have to know what gives you a headache in your business too, is try to eliminate it. I love that you hear
key fobs, key cards, all that shit, man. It sucks.
Yeah, it does. And that's why I'm happy. Okay, so at the place that I have, the 5 places that I have, we have a key card, but that key card, you can still get inside the complex without a key card, and the key card is only for the gym and the pool. So if you don't put it back, I'm going to charge you, and it doesn't really affect the next stay.
Unless they want to go to the pool.
The pool, they can, honestly, I tell them, man, you can just reach over and open the pool thing. It ain't, the only problem is now the gym, that's more of a problem. Like if they want to go to the gym, that's more of a problem. And then another thing is you got to worry about the cleaner telling you the pool thing's missing. So you're like, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Too many moving pieces, man.
It is. It's a lot of moving pieces.
One of the genius things, and it's cool to listen to the next level people, right? The higher ups, because you learn a lot, of course. But I don't know if you saw the interview with Pace Morby hopped on Grant Cardone's show. You saw that?
No, I didn't see that one.
Oh, you gotta watch it. Pace Morby's explaining to him how he buys these houses and stuff with subject to.
Yeah.
And then it was so funny because Grant Cardone's this mega, this billionaire, real estate guy. He's been in it for a while. And he's like, okay, well, what about the debt? What about the mortgage? He goes, no, you're not using debt to buy this house. You're buying it subject to. You're transferring the deed to you, and then the mortgage stays in their name, and you're just paying their mortgage for them. And he's like, you don't have to go through a bank. You don't have to go through nobody, Fannie, Freddie, nothing. He's like, and he's telling a billionaire this, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, it says, what the hell? How do you do this? And they sit there and they do a phone call, and he lets Grant Cardone call somebody about one of their houses and whatever. I don't know. He just said he'd call him back and stuff. But the part that that I got out of it the most was with Grant Cardone. He's doing $100 million deals, right? He's not doing single family homes, whatever. But he says, this is brilliant, this is great, but how can you scale this? And Pace says, well, I guess you could build a team. And he didn't know the answer to the question, but Grant's, yes, you could send me the best money-making freaking idea there is, but I want to know how to scale this. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. To make it, 10x, to make it grow, because if I'm sitting here making phone calls to single family homes trying to subject to, that ain't gonna fly. You make a few 100,000 here or there, but he wants to make 100 million. He wants to build a team and scale it here. This is how you do it, and go there. You go. So that's what I'm thinking, man. I'm starting to change my mindset where, okay, I found something that's profitable, but is this thing scalable? Is it worth trying to scale this thing? If it's only bringing me a few $100 per transaction, you know what I'm saying?
Happy you brought that up. That's depends on your goals, right? What are your goals? Is your goals to build something scalable? I do want something scalable. Like on the management side, I want something scalable, but on the buying side, I'm cool with going the slow pace because I have an end goal, right? So I just want X amount of houses. I think I need 8 more. I need like 12 houses paid off 100%. And that's my cash flow, my monthly cash flow on the long-term lease, my monthly cash flow. So I'm cool going slow there. But then the management side, you can make that scalable, right? So it depends on your end goals, right? What's your end goal? Is your end goal to have a scalable business? Because if your end goal is to have a scalable, like fast, scalable business like Grant wants, arbitrage is the way for you because you're willing to take that risk. With sub 2, I like Pace's method because it's slow, but slow money is always longevity money, in my opinion. Fast money comes in fast, goes out fast. You know what I mean? Mm. So, but I like both ways. I understand Grant's way too, because Grant's all about 10x. I'm like a slow 10xer. I'm a slow 10xer. I'll 10x it, but it's going to be a slow process because I want to make the right investment.
That's good, man. And yeah, learning why you're doing this thing in the first place is the most important thing.
Ooh, yeah.
I want more time with my kiddos, man. That's my main goal.
Facts.
Right now I'm in the hustle mode. I still got the day job, and I sometimes I have to stay and go to the workspace and work there for a few hours, or got the podcast and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to build it out and build my processes. Like I said, I just took over Argis 100%. So just trying to, I'm working through all this stuff, to try to build it where I can hand it off to someone. That's what I'm working on right now. And there's a lot of processes I got to go through. But and that's what I was going to tell you too, man. For example, I alluded to pricing and the calendar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Federico's a genius and all that stuff. He did some really cool things with the calendars and everything, but a lot of it was like tons of rule sets and tons of different things. And something that was really like even when we were kind of like separated, going our separate ways, he said, I asked him about if he could teach this pricing to one of the VAs, on the way out. And he said he couldn't, because he goes, this takes years of experience, knowledge, and all this stuff for me to know this. Only I can do it this way, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, cool. So to me, what I'm trying to do, I'm going through this dynamic pricing stuff, right? And I'm I'm simplifying it. I know I'm sacrificing a few dollars by simplifying the process, by building out some simple rule sets that I could show somebody and teach somebody, and this is how you tweak them each month, whatever. Something simple, effective but simple. I know I might be leaving a few dollars on the table by doing so, but I will be able to pass it on to somebody where I can tackle the bigger things of the company, where I'm not doing all this crazy scientific pricing every day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sacrificing a few dollars for simplicity and being able to allocate, that to someone else.
I have a question. Is that simplicity going to be profitable? Because I can't outsource Airbnb pricing either, because it is complex.
I'll tell you this with Price Labs, and I remember back in the day before me and Federico even had a company, I started diving into Price Labs because Anirudh humped on our show and all that shit, right? This is back when I just had the one Airbnb, so, and it had some cool things, had some cool tools, but that was about, man, when I was doing it was 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, holy crap, they got some cool shit on here, man. They thought of everything. You can get really complicated with this shit. But now I have, like you said, the why, or the reason, or the direction we want to go. And the direction of my company, and I know you say your company too, is heavy midterm rentals. So I'm building a system that'll keep the calendars the way they are, where I could attract the bigger, longer bookings. You know what I'm saying? And instead of leaving, two people could book 2 nights or 3 nights like 6 months away and screw up my calendars, whatever. I'm making it, no, you gotta, that far away, you gotta book 10 nights and you get a discount, but you gotta book a big chunk. You know what I'm saying? So I'm building it for that, for that reason, to be more midterm rental heavy. You know what I'm saying? Instead of short-term rental heavy. So I think back before, we were built to maximize the profit as a short-term rental. That's how the company, that's how it was built. But I'm changing it up to really encourage the longer bookings and get the midterm bookings, and building the brand so they can give me a phone call and say, hey,
can you
with this?
Go over that real quick? Like on Price Labs, how would you set it up to get a midterm rental booking on Price Labs? What would you do?
So I will set it up to, let's just say you could say, let's, for example, if I set one up like 7 days from now, okay. 7 days from now, weekdays are 2-night rentals, weekends are 3-night rentals, right? 3-night minimums. So, and then 14 days from now, the weekdays are 4-day rentals, and weekends are 5-day rentals. So you can't just go snipe a weekend like a month away. You can't go snipe a weekend, right? And then it just goes up from there, 6 and 7, 7 and 8, or whatever. And then you can even put one like 2 months out. It'll be a 30-day rental. You know what I'm saying? I just build it gradually. The farther away you go, the longer the minimum stay is. But I'm going to have the VA, which I'm doing right now. It's a week out. I can tinker with it a little bit, and I can get rid of some of those minimums. And I mean, it's set up so it'll do it by itself, but sometimes it might need a little nudge here and there. Nothing's passive 100%.
Has it like been securing longer term? Well, because I guess midterms are kind of a broad term because some people consider midterms. I don't know. I consider it 30 days, but has it been giving you longer bookings doing it that way farther out?
I just, I've done it on a few, and but I just now finished making them all like that, today, like literally today, and so I can't say. So here's the problem when people say, there's so many variables, right? Someone could like, hey, July, I tinkered with this, and now I got a full July calendar. Like, maybe was it because of summer? Maybe the house had a pool. Maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe there was, you started your calendar in July, like those guys we had on. He was telling us all the different stuff, that why air DNA is not accurate, why whatever. He's saying, or people think that they tinker around with these calendars and this and that, and they get a result and they say, oh, it has to be because of what I did. No, there's like 1,000 different variables why that could have happened, right? And he said, and I remember everybody thought, oh, we get this huge bump whenever we start an Airbnb, right? And that was the gospel. Everybody knew that. You start an Airbnb and you automatically get 3 bookings right away because Airbnb pushes you to the #1 spot on the page. And he said, no, it's not necessarily the case, because he goes, it might just be because you start an Airbnb in July. Everyone else in Airbnb, everybody else in July is booked already. So people are going to see your place first. I mean, it's just, he goes, there's so many things that we take for granted that we think is the truth, but it really isn't. And so I can't say that my way is going to work. I'm just saying it's going to make it harder for people to snipe days, in a few weeks from now or a few months from now.
This is what happened to me. So I used to do anything 30 days out was a 4-day minimum. So what happened was even if someone wanted to stay like a month, my place shows up, but it doesn't have it would restrict my place because I had those minimums. So what I found was if I just raised the price really high and then discounted it to where they still would want to book, that is when I got the most bookings, just from when I was doing an A and B test on it. That's all I was asking. But I haven't done that in probably like a year or two. Yeah. I haven't done that because that was what I kept running into. So by the time the next month comes around, I'm having to go in there and set up rule sets to get the place booked. But that's only with apartments. With houses, I don't have that issue.
Right. I've seen that argument a lot on the Airbnb automated page or whatever. I've seen that argument where they're like, should I just price my far out dates really high, or should I set longer minimums, and then half the people say longer minimum is the way to go. Other half of say is just raise the prices really high because it's gonna. Yeah.
And another thing to also consider, like, and I tell people in these Facebook groups, one thing to really, really consider when you're talking to people in Facebook groups, what market are they? What kind of market are they in, right? Like, are they in a metro market? Are they in a vacation rental market? Because all that has a huge effect. That's one reason why I actually like Sean's videos, because he's in a metro market, right? Mm-hmm. He's not in a vacation rental market. I have to so when I'm setting my units are all in metro market. So when I'm setting my units up, I have to set it up like in a metro market way. Like, hey, I know people, like, it's not like vacation rentals. Like, hey, I know people are coming during this time. You know what I mean? Metro markets, I know people are coming during this time for the Cowboys are about to start playing. So there's a few weekends, Cowboy people are coming to see the Cowboy game. They're coming, right? So you have to kind of gauge those and then just understand who else is coming. Are interns coming, like you were talking about? Interns may be coming. It may be that season. So it's about knowing that as well and then setting it up. Because I've done it where, just like you said, I've set the minimum, but now I raise it really high. But at the same time, I'm not on Airbnb that much because I raise it high just so it's open, so I can put like a business to business midterm in there. You know what I mean? And then I'm open. But it's all about your business model, man. I like that business model. Let me know the results on it because I'm kind of using a lot of A and B tests to sell off some units. Like, hey, you can do this. Here's the results. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And like I said, I'm trying some things right now. But my main goal, I mean, like I said, you could put 1,000 different rule sets on there. But I'm just keep it to a handful, keep it simple, and our goal is to mostly be midterm, stays. And so it's just less work, less stress on the company when you're doing mostly midterm, right? And it's awesome because like if someone's staying at your place and the dishwasher goes out, and they're there for just 2 or 3 days, they're gonna be pissed about that, and they're trying to get a full refund, right? Whereas someone that's there for 3 months, okay, he'll get to it Tuesday. Okay, that's fine. I'll wait. I can wait till Tuesday. It's just so much easier, man.
It is.
And so that's what I'm trying to build the business towards. A funny thing happened. This has never happened to me before, said the guy at the end of the bed. But you ever had a broken someone broke your the pipe coming out of the wall going into the toilet? Has anyone ever broken that before for you?
No.
I'll tell you something. I just thought of something else about this same condo that we manage in Arlington. As a corporate rental. So this time, this toilet, right? It was this guy, I think he might be Indian or Pakistani or something, but he wanted to install. He's there for 3 months, right? And he wanted to install a bidet. You know what a bidet is, right?
Yeah, you ain't got to wipe your own ass.
Yeah, it shoots water up your ass. That's what a bidet is, and it's glorious. And so this guy, he didn't tell us nothing. He just took it on himself to try to install a bidet, and he broke that pipe coming out of the wall, right? And it's a condo where it doesn't have just a little shut off like our houses have a little turn on the water, turn off the water right there in case something happens. So of course it happens in the middle of the night on a Friday. And so that's when everything happens, right? And so the complex has to meet there Monday to shut off the water. So our handyman can go in there and fix it. This guy's going to pay for it and everything. That's fine. But someone wanted to install a bidet. It's the craziest shit, man. I thought about putting them in places. I don't know if they're not really that popular here yet, but I enjoy them at my house. I installed them. So there you go. A bidet,
I'm joking. Go ahead.
Is a pain in the ass sometimes. But that same toilet, another guest that stayed there a while back, she broke the top of the toilet.
Is this just an uncomfortable toilet?
No, she said she was leaning on it to do something. I don't know. She reaching back there and she said, "Oh, and my huge bosoms might have accidentally broke the top of it."
Y'all got some guests, man.
I just thought of that right now. That's the same fucking toilet, man. That toilet's been used and abused, man.
Damn. So, but yeah, that wow. Maintenance issues.
Maintenance issues. There you go. I was gonna say, what else was I gonna talk about today aside toilet talk? Dynamic pricing, training your clients, because you're gonna be strictly management now. How are you gonna train your clients to not blow you up for a bunch of BS all the time?
Oh, I have a Google number they text. You have a maintenance support line they text.
Okay, and who answers that? Your VA?
VA. Yeah, just get a Google Voice that they can text, and it just goes straight to the email, and they can just answer it right then and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about the client, the people that own the house or that own the condo or own whoever you're managing for. What if they
hit me up about?
We're talking numbers, talking strategy, talking your calendars.
I don't get hands on people. Let them know expectations right up front. I haven't those people because I vet them. Like me and Mahogany go meet them, see who they are, and be like, "We about to do this?" Nope. And plus, they have to. And plus, another way to see that they're more hands off. We do people with high-end houses, like more or less high houses. I'm not doing no apartment complexes. We doing people that's going to guarantee to make money. You know.
Here's what I'm coming across: people that used to manage it themselves. Those are.
Oh no, I don't
difficult.
manage those. All these people have never done it before.
Okay, that's the ideal client, because we have this. We picked up a place in Austin this past month. We picked up five houses that we're managing this past month, but one of them is Austin, and he's never done Airbnb or short-term rentals before, and he wanted to try it out of his house. Oh, so beautiful, dude. Yeah. So awesome. We're making him good money too. That helps. Formula One in Austin.
Oh, you know what? I just thought about something. I remember y'all business model was based around finding people who already had them, huh?
That already were doing.
They were doing it. I remember a while ago you guys were saying that because you were like, man, we can just find people already doing it. Now, I want to talk about that. Now, how has that transition been? Like, have you found it to be a pain in the ass?
A little difficult. I don't know. If my clients are listening, I love you. Y'all are awesome. The best clients ever. But, it's hard to I don't blame them, because it's hard to hand over their baby, right? If they've been doing this management themselves for a while, it's hard. Even though the results show that you're not getting no bookings and we're going to bring you some bookings, it's still hard for them to hand over their baby. And whereas someone that's never done it before, they trust us.
Yeah.
These guys know what they're doing. They've been doing it for 6-7 years. I can't tell them how to do it. I don't know how to do it. That's all.
And if they're making money, the money that they want to make. Now, we do have that initial talk, like how much money you're trying to make. And then we'll see if it's for us, because we tell them, hey, to me, I have to make at least a minimum of $1,000 per managed property. If I can't make that, I don't really want to waste my time with it. I mean, if you aren't making money, this ain't a high-end property. So that's why I like houses. So yeah, I'm happy you said that, because both of my clients had never done it before. One client, he had inherited a home, and he knew it. And this important part about people knowing what you do. He inherited a home, and he just didn't want to lose it. He was like, look, man, I just don't want to lose a house. I know you know how to do real estate. You're in real estate. I've been seeing you do the short-term rental thing. Can you do it to my house? Boom, easy. Next lady, she bought a house. She was moving into the house, but the house she was renting, she wanted to turn it into an Airbnb. And the guy was like, cool, and easy client. Plus, she's making money. It's going towards her new house that she just got, so it's a win-win for her. Nice. And she knows everything about the house, ins and outs. That's another thing about arbitrage, and I don't like either. Some of those people, they'll pick up a house, arbitrage, don't really know like the ins and outs, what issues are going on with it. And then you got to get bombarded with shit that just don't work. So, it's multiple ways to look at a management client. And I think you're definitely onto something with that. I definitely like the person who's never done it. Mm-hmm. Even the ones who I'm talking to now to pick them up, they've never done it. And they don't want to. They just want to check.
Right. So they're not asking you what base price you're using or what.
Yeah, they're not asking none of that. Yeah. See that and I'm happy you brought that up, because I was thinking that, because I was thinking about it. We'll put ourselves in their shoes, right? We've been doing this 6 years. Let's just say one day we want to be hands off. And would you really pass it over to a management company? No, you're going to be bugging the shit out of them.
I was that person, man.
I know.
I remember when I told you over there in the Dallas units we first got to. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want management. I wanted to manage it myself, but they had told us, if you're going to rent here, you have to use this management company. That management company told us. I learned later that wasn't really the policy. We could have managed it our damn selves if we wanted to, but we were bamboozled. And so, and of course, I was like, hey, what are you doing? Why is it priced $50 in a one night stay on a Saturday? All that kind of shit. Because I didn't want a management. I didn't want someone to manage it for me. I wanted to do it myself. So I was that person, but I had good reason. I didn't go hire somebody and then I just stood behind them and pestered them the whole time.
Yeah. I mean yeah. And I can already see it that way, man. And like I'm killing it on the ones that I'm managing. I'm killing it with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they ain't the ass, none of that. Shout out to my clients. Y'all know who y'all are. But nah, matter of fact, My clients don't even listen to this damn podcast because they ain't interested. They just want to get the check. You know what I'm saying? See, other people, you don't want, matter of fact, that's a very good one. You don't want the client that listens to Live, Let Thrive because that's what they're going to do. Pester your ass.
Then we can't say shit anymore because they might listen.
I'm just saying, you don't want the client that listens to Live, Let Thrive, right? I mean, you want the person that is interested, listens to Live, Let Thrive, and be like, hey, let Myka or Steve do that shit.
See, that's
what you want.
If any listeners out there want us to manage for them, we're happy to do so. Just lay off our asses, yo.
Hey, I'll talk to you and find out if you're my management type. I'll be like, nah. No, for real, you have to know. I mean, because see, with short-term rentals, I look at it like this. You know, like with long-term rentals, like let's say you manage a long-term rental. You got your real estate license, you manage a long-term rental. Their whole goal is to scale it because it's you're taking a little piece of the pie, right? The pie is smaller. So in short-term rentals, you can manage just a handful of properties, and it's a bigger pie. That's why I tell people you can be very selective on a short-term rental management than a long-term rental. Long-term rental, you're trying to get everything up in there. You know what I mean? Put the system on it, you know, it fills itself. But the thing is, you know, it's just a smaller pie. Short-term rental, you ain't got to deal with those headaches. You want Suzanne that just has a house down there. Hey, can we do this with this house? I live in Utah. Cool. You know what I mean? That are hands off.
Or a hybrid approach where let's just say, you know, short-term rentals is one of the tools in your toolbox, right?
Yeah.
Midterm rentals also. And long-term rentals. Now, let's just say this scenario, because I've been in this situation before where I'm in between tenants on a long-term rental, right? And if it was in an area where I could do short-term rentals, I'm almost thinking, man, I'm going to throw some furniture in there, make it look pretty, and start doing short-term rentals while I'm trying to find the perfect client to do a long-term lease on this place. You know what I'm saying? And when they do come check out the house, it's going to be spotless, it's going to be clean, it's going to be furnished and everything. But we can take the furniture out if you need to. But it's going to be like, just like when people stage a home, those do like, what do they say, 30-40% more better than a house that's not staged. So someone's going to walk through my house, going to be like perfectly smelling like fabuloso and you know, furniture, badass, all decked out. And it's going to be, I'm going to get some higher end people looking to rent the place. I think, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like the old trick at the old apartment complexes, they take you to the little model home. You're like, wow, that's so cool, man. I'm going to decorate mine just like this. And then next thing you know, I just got a mattress on the floor. You know,
basically, that's how they do it. That's how they do it. They're selling you a dream, man. That's what they do, man. But yeah,
they honeypotted us
straight up. They honeypot you.
But so I think that's what I'm gonna do next time. You know, just make it really nice. And if I have the ability to short term, that way I can take my time. Hey, I'm still making some income doing a short term. But if my main goal to this place is to do long term, or even set it up to rent out, you know, in August or September when you get a little dip, and that's when I'll lock in a long term client. I don't know, but either way, it's good to have these different tools in your tool belt, toolbox, whatever you call it.
Yeah, good to have them in your tool belt, and then find out which tool you can turn 1,000 times. Like, you know, that kicking 1,000 times. Find out which tool on that tool belt you can efficiently use 1,000 times, and let that be your niche tool.
I dig it. I dig it.
Man.
Well, cool, man. This is a fun episode.
This was a good show.
Yes, sir. Where can people find us, Myka?
Find us, liveletthrive.com. Send us an email. Oh, you can send us an email at info@liveletthrive.com. If you want to reach out to Steve personally, steve@liveletthrive.com. If you want to reach out to me, Myka@liveletthrive.com. Send us your questions. Hit us up on IG and TikTok. It's at Live Let Thrive. And thank y'all for continuing to be listeners. And by the way, if there is someone who rents by the room, if you know someone, tell them to hit us up because we want to get them on the cast so we can talk some shop. Matter of fact, I have an idea. We're going to go get Todd Baldwin again.
Yes.
No, let's go get Todd Baldwin again. It's like, let's see how, because his is more, that area is more shifted for that, the Seattle area. So yeah, we'll go get someone like Todd again. You know, he's a father now, so I know he's busy. Shout out to him and his new family. But but that is it. Go ahead.
T-balled, baby.
T-ball. There you go.
Oh, go Cowboys, man. 40-0. What's up, world?
Man, they gave me 37 points in fantasy last night. Shout out to them. Matter of fact, their defense and Pollard gave me like 60-something points in fantasy. Shout out to the Cowboys. And I was getting my ass kicked. So, yeah, man.
Here's to at least 2 playoff games here. Come on, Cowboys.
Yeah, at least 2.
Give us that money.
Give us something.
All right, brother. Good
All right,
chatting
man.
with you.
Good talking to y'all.
Peace.
Out.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.